stand by. We're getting going here in just a second. We are on a little bit late tonight, unfortunately, because of the stronger weather that just rolled through. Some of the storms that have passed over to the east of us is where we were looking from earlier. If you're just tuning in, we did have some severe weather earlier. We had some tornadoes taking place over portions of western North Carolina, and no reports of any damage or touchdowns at this point in time, but it also knocked our schedule off. So we are on a lot later at this point than what we usually are, and just about 10 o'clock or 10:20 just after that. So we are going to do an abbreviated weather overtime, as we've only got about 35 minutes before we get back on the air for News 12 at 11, so we'll have some word there. If you have damage reports around areas of western North Carolina, find out which county you're located in. I believe that's covered by National Weather Service Morristown. So if you have reports, please turn them in to the National Weather Service so they know a little bit more about what's going on. We have several storms as of 10:20 making their way down to the east-southeast, which is pretty much the way all these other storms made their way on through. Now you notice in this loop, we did have a few of these blocks up here. Let me block this off for just a second and just show you a little bit more about what is actually going on. What we did have was a area of severe weather. We did have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Bledsoe, Ray, and Sequatchie counties northwest of Chattanooga, and that is now history. 10 o'clock, that's gone. We are going to be seeing the potential of some more severe weather. It's a marginal threat for tonight. Again, some of these storms could pack a bit of a brief wallop to where we see the potential of heavy rain, gusty, possibly damaging winds, a non-zero threat of a tornado, as we saw from earlier tonight. And then we see also the possibility of some hail. We had reports of about 1-inch size hail earlier from the storms that went through parts of northern Georgia, but that's pretty much over with. So for tonight, marginal threat of severe weather, and again, that is mainly for areas north and east of Chattanooga, right about where those storms are heading that you saw just a little while ago. Now, as we get into Friday, tomorrow, we do have a threat of severe weather, a higher threat, the scale up here in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Apologies for the lights bouncing off there. We're trying to get that fixed, but so far no luck on that. We see the potential of severe weather highest to our west. That, again, is where we're going to be seeing the worst of the worst. Texas all the way up to portions of Minnesota, well, maybe about Illinois and Lake Michigan, much of Indiana. This could be a situation coming up in the next couple of days to where we could see the possibility of some showers and thunderstorms. It looks a little bit better for right now, as we see less in the way of severe weather for Saturday. But this forecast that you're looking at is easily 12 to 18 hours old. So the new forecast coming up in a couple of hours. For now, the threat of severe weather will be sticking around for portions of the area into Saturday. The enhanced risk from roughly Topeka, Kansas, all the way down to the Red River, that is where we're going to be seeing the main threat coming up on Saturday. That is part of our new storm system that's going to be making its way on through. Let me give you an idea as to what's going on here. We don't have much going on in the area. We've got these showers and thunderstorms over portions of the northern area, Ray, Bledsoe, Sequatchie, back over toward around Meigs and McMinn County, and a couple of heavier cells back over toward around Monroe County, picking up some heavier activity there from earlier on. Now, as we zoom out, there's really not that much around the area going on. High pressure to our north, lots of very humid air, unstable air. That's where we're getting these chances of showers and thunderstorms. It's out to the west where we're looking at our next storm system to be moving on through. This one is already pretty potent, and it's showing signs of getting a lot stronger into the next couple of days. This is what is going to be moving our direction. So we see that threat heading our way as we get into the weekend, the holiday weekend, where tons of people are going to be out and about, and a lot of people are going to be out on the waters, doing stuff outdoors. The unofficial start of summertime, that is going to be a problem for when we get into the next few days, including that potential of severe weather. Now, timing things out hour by hour, tomorrow morning, again, some scattered showers and thunderstorms. So if the kids do have school tomorrow, there will be the potential of some activity going on. More potential of widespread showers and thunderstorms, and again, that risk of severe weather. A marginal threat, but still threat. Then we get into the weekend itself. Saturday, starting off again, some showers and thunderstorms here, and then we see more potential of that activity on Saturday. I think we're going to be looking at less potential of showers and thunderstorms on Saturday than we will on Sunday. And then I think we're going to be looking at a lot more activity probably late Sunday as that storm system gets closer to us off to the west, and then that starts to move on through very early Memorial Day Monday. So we could be seeing possibility some very heavy weather coming through here. Again, the potential for severe weather is just right now a potential. We'll show you that in just a little bit. Most of what we're looking at for that system will kick on out of here through Monday. Monday afternoon and evening, another round of showers and thunderstorms down to our south. And then after that, very nice, we get rid of all the chances of showers and thunderstorms that are going to be heading on through. They'll be done. So for the rest of this evening, we should be looking at hopefully some quieter conditions out there. For right now, the potential is going to be for the possibility of showers and thunderstorms all the way throughout the next couple of days. Now, we're going to keep the marginal threat in here for Friday and Saturday. There's not anything in here for Sunday yet. Notice the severe risk down here. Let me explain that for just a second. What I showed you earlier on the severe weather threat, the color coding, the marginal risk, that's the 1 out of 5. When you get up to 5 out of 5, that's the high threat, and those are rare. That's like the outbreak we saw a couple of weeks ago. Now we're looking at just a marginal threat, so that's not much, but it is still a threat. Here's what we're looking at. The Storm Prediction Center, which issues these forecasts, when they go days 1, 2, 3, tonight, Friday, Saturday, they do a good job of giving us an idea as to what may be actually going on. For Sunday, we see again a higher potential of severe weather in that orange category up this direction, just north of the News 12 viewing area, the scale over here. But we're also looking again at the threat beginning out here to the west during the day on Sunday, moving our way as we go into Sunday night, and that's why I think Sunday night into Monday, we're really going to have to watch out for that. Now, what about the holiday on Monday? Storm Prediction Center is not showing anything at this point, so we're not picking up much of anything going on for Monday, so good news on that for now, but that could change. So that is why we are showing at this time the potential of a couple of marginal risks here. We know more about the situation here, excuse me, and then we see that possibility. These are, again, extended forecasts that we can't get the specifics of the marginal, slight, enhanced risk yet. Tomorrow, as we're within range of that days 1 through 3 forecast, that is where we're going to be seeing the potential there. We'll get a better idea as to what's heading our way on Sunday and quite possibly for Monday. And then, right after that, showers, maybe some thunderstorms on Tuesday. Everything clears out. Very mild temperatures coming on through, below normal, very comfortable as we round out the month of May. Where has the time gone? We'll be back to June, it looks like, with some numbers that are going to be relatively quiet. So that, again, giving us some good news for right now. Real quick, want to show you the information that we have. We do not have anything huge going on in the tropics. We do, however, have something to take a look at. In the Eastern Pacific, not much of anything happening here yet. We did have some try to get going, and those are moving off into the Pacific, so there's not much here. We do have a system right back over the area around Hispaniola, and that is where we're seeing this forecast outlook here. Ignore that right there. That's some changing that. That should be on the maps. It's on the windshield. This area of disturbed weather moving out into the Atlantic. This one gives us a 10% chance in the next 2 to 7 days of anything developing. The temperatures of the waters, now this is not a threat to the United States. This is just an area that might develop. It's not a storm. It's not a hurricane. It's nothing like that. But as we get into the next several days and weeks. We're coming up in less than, I believe, 9 days from today is the start of hurricane season. This is really bad news. This is the temperature of the waters that have been measured, sea surface temperatures, SSTs as they're called, and the temperatures, notice around Cuba and right around the Gulf Stream where the Gulf Loop occurs, temperatures there are even hotter than what they are around here. The temperatures of the Atlantic, especially in this area where storms usually form, these temperatures are equal to what you would see in mid-August. This is not good news. The hurricane season hasn't even started yet, and the temperatures are already very conducive to getting storms going. If you hadn't heard, that NOAA came out with their hurricane forecast, their update for the year, and likewise they are calling, along with Colorado State and a couple of other agencies from colleges, showing the potential for a record-setting active season like 2005, where we ran out of the alphabet and had to use the Greek letters for a period of time. We may be seeing a season that active again. And if these temperatures, especially in the areas that are darker orange, this is not good news, because anything that forms around here, this is where they could take off very quickly. Temperature of 84 in the Straits of Cuba, south of Cuba down toward Jamaica, and all the way back into the area between Cuba and Haiti and up into portions of the Bahamas. Mid-80s temperatures. The oceans didn't really have a chance to cool off in the last several months, so we are looking at some pretty ugly conditions out there for now. So we'd love to be able to see a quieter season. Doesn't look like that's going to be happening. And remember that if something forms way out this direction, you're going to have a lot more lead time. But if it forms anywhere closer to the United States, you're not going to have as much lead time, maybe even less than or equal to about 2 days, where the confidence gets a lot higher there. So please pay attention to the forecast and keep yourself updated. It's past time really to be weather aware if you have any plans for out there. All right, we got to wrap up because we are going to be getting into news time here pretty soon on air. Thank you very much, Anthony Yu from Ringgold, Georgia, for a beautiful view of a waterfront building beside the South Chickamauga Creek. Gorgeous shot there, and thanks to everybody for sending in some wonderful pictures. If you've got pictures, we'd love to see them. Drop them to our social media channels, email them to us, or go to our website, wdef.com/photos, to turn yours in and to see what other people have been submitting for the Langley Roofing weather window picture of the day. Let me see if I've got this here real quick, and we do. Okay, cool. Our friendinroofing.com weather poll question of the day: the latitudes north and south of the equator, 30 degrees, are called what? The middle of nowhere, the horse latitudes, the definite doldrums, or the roaring 30s? 58% of you answer the question correctly. That is in fact called the horse latitudes, and that is an area which again is named because, and it's kind of a little bit grisly, but it was at the altitude in those areas right there at 30 north and 30 south. You got high pressure coming down. That's why you have a lot of the deserts of the world in those particular locations, because of that air coming down instead of going upwards at the equator. So you have that circulation. So in those areas you get doldrums. You get very light winds, ships can't move, and in some areas when they were transporting horses and they became becalmed in order to save on drinking water, sometimes those poor animals were shoved overboard and left to fare in the oceans because they couldn't keep them alive. They were thirsting to death. So that is why they are called the horse latitude. So a little bit of science for you and a little bit of a history lesson there, and more on our friendinroofing.com website poll of the day. So thanks a lot for voting on that. We'll have a new one coming up at midnight, so stay tuned there. Think that should do it for tonight. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up because, again, we're on a little bit late thanks to the severe weather. Looks like the severe weather for now, not jinxing it, is pretty much done and over with, so we'll watch for anything else. Chip Chapman will have your forecast bright and early in the morning. We've got a lot of possibility of storms going into Memorial Day weekend. So please stay updated on the forecast. Watch what's going on. Stay tuned to News 12. Stay tuned to the National Weather Service. We'll help keep you advised on all of that through the next couple of days, but it's going to be up to you to make certain that you are paying attention to what's going on. So join us on News 12 at 11, and of course, always available at WDEF.com. You can email me there as well as everybody else on the News 12 staff. Thanks for joining us for this foreshortened edition of Weather Overtime. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick on Thursday evening, the 23rd of May. Stay tuned for more with News 12 on air and online, and we'll be back with another forecast tomorrow on Weather Overtime and possible warnings, so stay tuned for more